Sir, the civil society is very vibrant in Telangana, but due to the repressive policies of KCR, they have become quite dormant over the last 5-6 years. But good thing is that they have now become alive and very active. Once again, after a long time, we see an activists are now coming out openly and criticizing the existing regime and working for a democratic alternative. That I think is a very positive sign. The second thing is, normally the civil society in Telangana doesn't show any interest in politics. But for this time, I think after a very long gap, they all are actively campaigning for Congress party. This is rarely happened. I think this happened in the past in 2004 when Rajshekar Reddy was the president of the Congress party. There was a very intense struggle against the liberalization policies of Chandrababu Naidu. He somehow accommodated all these movements into and established an alliance. That alliance could easily defeat the Chandrababu. And no one believed that Chandrababu can be defeated, but again, because of this alliance, they could easily overthrow Chandrababu regime and establish the Congress regime in Telangana. And once again, social welfare policies have been revived in Telangana state. After a long gap, there was an association with TIs, but never so strong in the election. It's mostly in the movement field. But after a long gap, now we see an active association with the Congress party. And these groups are very strong. For example, RTC JSE has a membership of about 45,000 workers. Singareni has about 50,000 workers. There is Akshara Bharat workers, 18,000. I don't know whether the Gram Panchayat secretary is here, but those secretaries, there are about 19,000. Electricity employees, there are 25,000. And the continuing optometricians are also there. Yeah. So together, Dalit organizations, voluntary groups, the groups which are campaigning for child rights, they are very huge organizations. And one good thing is that they are campaigning. Now this has a significant implications. What we need is some kind of a democratization. KCR has established an autocratic regime, and in the autocratic regime there was no opportunity to interact with the government, no opportunity to articulate their own concerns. So people, to begin with, want a change in this kind of an autocratic system. They want a democratic regime to be established. Number two, a dialogue which enables them to convey their demands to the government so that through a democratic process, these demands can be addressed. And three, it requires, it's not all of them are monetary demands, but recognition and some kind of a share in the development is what most of these organizations demand. I think, it's a healthy sign. It's a healthy sign if a kind of a cordial relationship is established between the Congress party and these organizations. It goes a long way in strengthening democracy in Telangana. That's what people want. So this is, there is, what I see is a scope for reviving democracy, a scope for some kind of a new kind of politics in Telangana. And that's what we see in this meeting today. And kindly, take the suggestions. Some of them are already incorporated in the manifesto. Some are yet to be incorporated. But they can be when the government comes into power, Congress comes into power, they can take up these demands and recognize these demands. Sir, it's a very good sign. That's what I want to say. And Mr. Kharge's speech has also given a lot of confidence to everyone that we are going to see a new phase in Telangana politics. We are very glad all of you have come to talk to these people. I think it's a great relief. I mean, it's very difficult to explain it in words. For the first time, we are able to talk to someone, who is likely to come to power. After a very, very long period, such a dialogue is happening, and it's a great relief to all of us. And we would be waiting for a kind of a democratic dispensation that would listen to us, pay an attention to our demands. మనం చెప్పేవి వినటానికి పరిష్కారం పక్కన పోయిన కనీసం వినటం మొదలు పెడితే పరిష్కారానికి ఒక అవకాశం అయితే కలుగుతుందని ఒక ఆశ. అట్లాంటి ఒక సంవాదానికి, ఒక డిస్కషన్కి, డైలాగ్కి ఖచ్చితంగా there would be, I am very sure that there will be scope for dialogue and discussion. Thank you, sir.
इस वीडियो को लाइक करें, हमारे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करें और बेल आइकन जरूर प्रेस करें।